This is my most intricate project yet, a 3.5-inch cinematic FPV drone, otherwise known as a cinewhoop. Here is how I made it and how you can make your own. Hello, my name is Trevor and welcome to Project 18 on my journey to 52 projects in 2025. If you're new around here, first, hello. I have a goal of creating 52 projects in 2025 that range from simple 3D prints to today's project, a custom FPV drone. Most of the time, I have no previous knowledge of what I'm building going into each project, but today is different. I've built and flown a few FPV drones, so we have a starting point. Although I will note, this drone has given me the most trouble out of all my drones. What I thought was going to be a week-long project turned into a month-long endeavor. So let's get started. First, what is an FPV drone? FPV stands for first-person view. These are the high-speed drones where the operator uses goggles and a remote controller like this. There are 3 general classes for hobbyist FPV pilots: race quads optimized for speeds and tight turns. They're trying to win races. Freestyle builds built for aerial acrobatics, flipping on a dime, cutting through gaps, and robustly built for constant crashing. And finally, cinewhoops. These are the drones built specifically for capturing crisp, smooth, dare I say, beautiful video. The first quad I ever built was a 5-inch freestyle build. It's a jack-of-all-trades build. While designed for freestyle, it can capture some cinematic footage and is very fast and agile, giving you a taste of what racing could be like. However, today we're building the third type with a 3.5-inch cinewhoop. And okay, pause. Why do I keep leading with a number of inches? This is referring to the prop size, which is very important because you can break it up into 3 categories, but you can break it even more down into prop sizes. Large props, like 7-inch props, can carry large batteries for long flight times. Their size also means they're not going to get knocked around in the wind. This means they can go long distances for stuff like summiting a mountain. But you're not going to fly this honker indoors or through trees. This is why tiny props like the one on this drone are nice. I chose to build a 3.5-inch because it's the smallest drone size that can comfortably carry a GoPro Mini 11, which in my opinion produces a better quality video than the onboard camera. Okay, cool. We know what we're going to build, but how? There's a butt ton of parts we'll need to make this happen. So let's tackle them one at a time. First, your frame. Once you've decided your prop size, you can now begin looking for a frame. Most people immediately research and then buy a frame. It's that simple. But I spent 3 weeks designing my own frame, going through multiple iterations, and made a separate project where I created a wind tunnel primarily to show the aerodynamics of this frame, just to come to the same conclusion and order a frame online. Yeah, I spent way too long on this not to talk about it, but I never ended up using it. Since I had experience with FPV drones in the past, I decided to try and kick it up a notch and design my own frame. It had a PLA top plate that I plan to eventually get cut out of carbon fiber and TPU prop guards. And although I got this thing flying, it flew like a potato with the 3D printed frames. Before I scrapped the project, there were 3 main issues. First, I didn't account for any space for a capacitor, which isn't exactly necessary, but it stops your electronics from burning out really quickly, so it's definitely a good thing to have. Second was weight. This thing was way too heavy, but the real nail in the coffin was that carbon fiber custom frame would take up to 2 weeks to ship, and after 3 weeks, I just wanted to have this thing built. So, yeah. If you'd like to see this frame all the way through to completion, let me know in the comments, and I'd love to make a sequel to this video, but for now, we just got a frame offline. But this frame won't magically take flight. We need electronics. Starting with your motors. The main thing that you're paying attention to is the series and KV rating. Once you've decided a prop size and a frame, you can just look up what's a good fit for that build. Next, you have your stack, which is comprised of an ESC, the brain, which does all the computation for the drone, and a flight controller, which controls the motor's speed and direction. Or this can be combined into an all-in-one, which combines both these into one single board. That's what's being used on this drone. Next, your camera. I'm using a DJI O3 Air unit, but the camera isn't really important because I'm mounting a GoPro to record the actual footage on top. So as long as I can see out, we're good. I'm just using an O3 because that's what I'm used to. If you're using a DJI controller, you're good to go. You're basically done. You just throw on a battery and take flight. But I'm special, use an Express LRS controller for reliability, range, and usability reasons. So we need to wire a special receiver for this all to work. Finally, a battery. Like the motors, you look up what's a good fit for your specific type of drone and the prop size you chose. Oh, also you need a remote ID module to fly legally in the US. I soldered this with my custom frame first, and then when I transferred to the new frame, all my wires for my motors were too short, which was a nightmare, but we made it work. The last bit of hardware we need is props. The standard for FPV drones is 3-blade props, but I also have 4-blade and 5-blade props because they're a little more smooth flying. And I just wanted to test them out. Now we assemble it. Everything is built, so we're just one step away. It's time to program this, which sounds a lot harder than it actually is. There is a specific tool for this called Betaflight. You just click buttons and it does all the hard programming stuff for you. A combination of tutorial videos, following your gut, button pressing, and user manuals will get you a flying drone. So we're ready for takeoff. With that, this concludes Project 18 on my journey to 52 projects in 2025. All the resources I used to build this drone are in the description. If you have questions on building your own FPV drone, please reach out. Let me know in the comments what you think I should build next, and if I should continue that custom-made drone frame. But until next time, good luck with your own projects.